The story of Michael Harrio Harris. Michael Harrio Harris is the man who provided the initial investment of $1.5 million that helped establish Death Row Records, one of the most iconic hip-hop record labels. Before founding Death Row Records, Michael Harrio Harris grew up on the east side of South Central Los Angeles. After leaving Los Angeles Community College, Michael Harrio Harris opened his first business, a music studio called Jingle Factory, specializing in creating radio commercials for local Los Angeles businesses, all while maintaining affiliation with the Bounty Hunter Bloods, a street gang in Watts, California. Michael Harrio Harris was in his 20s when he decided to start selling crack and quickly became a significant figure in the drug trade, working with his younger brother. The two dominated the Los Angeles market and later expanded nationwide, making Michael Harrio Harris a multimillionaire by the age of 26. Although Michael Harrio Harris became one of the largest drug traffickers of his time in the United States, that wasn't his ultimate goal. He aimed to eventually exit the world of drugs and become legitimate with a real estate and limousine service. However, everything fell apart in 1987 when the then 26-year-old was arrested and charged with kidnapping and conspiracy to commit murder, leading to a sentence of 25 years to life in prison. Michael Harrio Harris, the foundation of Death Row Records. Following his conviction, Michael Harrio Harris reportedly hired California lawyer David Kinner to oversee his appeal and work towards securing his release on parole. Around the same time, Suge Knight was busy founding Death Row Records. Death Row Records was a rising record label in the early 1990s, desperately seeking funding at the time. In 1991, Michael Harrio Harris informed his lawyer David Kinner about Suge Knight and Death Row Records, asking Kinner to facilitate a deal with Suge Knight, the CEO of Death Row Records. Suge Knight met with Michael Harrio Harris in prison, where they closed a deal in which Michael Harrio Harris established a media company called Godfather Entertainment, serving as the parent company of Death Row Records. Through Godfather Entertainment, Michael Harrio Harris invested $1.5 million in Death Row Records in exchange for a 50% stake in the company. Harris became a silent partner, allowing only Suge Knight's name to appear on Death Row Records documents. Shortly after, Death Row Records achieved worldwide success with the release of its first album, Dr. Dre's The Chronic, reaching its peak in the mid-90s with releases from Tupac Shakur. However, despite this tremendous success, Suge Knight did not fulfill his promise to pay profits to Michael Harrio Harris. As a result, Michael Harrio Harris sent a letter to Death Row Records, threatening to file a lawsuit if he was not compensated for his initial investment of $1.5 million, of which he only received $300,000. No additional amount was paid, and in 2002, Michael Harrio Harris filed another lawsuit against Death Row Records, claiming that, despite the $300,000 paid, they still owed him millions in unpaid profits and royalties. Harrio received a favorable court decision amounting to $107 million. However, by 2006, it became clear that Suge Knight and Death Row Records couldn't pay the full amount. Suge Knight was forced to file for bankruptcy, and Death Row Records was auctioned for $24 million, although Michael Harrio Harris received only $1 million of the $107 million awarded by the court decision. In 2019, it was announced that, after 31 years in prison, the co-founder of Death Row Records would be released. Harrio has since been released and, wherever he goes, he will always be known as the man behind the success of Death Row Records. Subscribe to the channel and see you next time.